you know, speaking with Blaine Fagnou here, beautiful Elk Ridge Resort, you know, fresh off the Mackenzie Tour event here. Before we get to that and the Hall of Fame induction, Blaine, obviously going in 2021, you're starting golf. How did this amazing career all get going for you?
Well, I got started with 1986, I guess it was, with Bruce Clausen at Waskesiu Golf Course. He hired me, and I ended up working for Bruce for 5 seasons while I was in university. So it's because of Bruce that I ended up where I am today. So yeah, it's because of my experience with Bruce, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there golf superintendent? Was that in the future, or was it the time with Bruce at Waskesiu? It just kind of fell into your lap a little bit.
Yeah, when I was in university, I was in kinesiology. I guess it's called kinesiology now, but before it was called phys ed. So I was going to be a biology phys ed teacher. Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to do. And then Bruce just, you know, after my second or third year, he said, Blaine, you know what, you seem to really enjoy this, and you're pretty good at it. You know, you get what I'm telling you. You know, there's lots of opportunities in this. You should maybe try this. And I thought, well, geez, you know, I'm in my third year. Mm-hmm. So I finished my kin, and then I transferred into agriculture, horticulture, because that's what Bruce did at Guelph. Okay. And yeah, I went from there.
I don't have your bio in front of me. Mm-hmm. When did Elk Ridge come about? How did that happen?
Bill Locke and Arnie Peterson started Elk Ridge in '93. It was incorporated, so they started clearing the land in '93, and Bruce was involved then too with designing the first original tamarack and birch. Yeah, so that was '93, and I started in '94. Okay. Spring of '94.
Been here ever since.
Yeah, I was wrote an exam, sent a resume in to Bill Locke, wrote an exam, got home from my exam. Janice, my wife, said, you know, Bill phone. So I phoned him, go up for an interview. When can you start? I said, well, I can start Monday, so yeah.
What has it been like staying at one place? You know, talking to Bruce, he moved around a little bit and experienced other stuff, and you know, everybody's different, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter what career you're doing, but you know, why here all these years?
You know, Arnie Peterson, you know, you don't meet a guy like him very often in your life, and you know, he's like a father to me. Mm-hmm. You know, every year we're changing something. It was very dynamic. You know, we're building this, building that. It was right up my alley. I like to build and get dirty. So did Arnie. You know, like we worked shoulder to shoulder for 25 years.
I have understanding that Arnie he would be out here in a bulldozer and cat himself, eh?
And you know, like he's humble, classy, trustworthy. You know, he had a lot of trust in us, not just me or you know the whole staff, but I mean, like we could take a D4 cat out on number 1 there and start digging a hole, and he'll say, "What are you doing there, bud?" You know, "Oh, we're putting a sand trap in." And he'd say, "Can't wait to see it," but slap in the back, you know.
Always had the support.
Yes, you know, so you don't find that very often.
Mm-hmm. So you could be creative here a little bit.
Oh yeah. Just trusted us, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you know, you've had this wonderful career, and nobody ever does anything to be recognized to go into a Hall of Fame of any kind. But you know, you get nominated, and the committee feels you've done enough for golf in Saskatchewan to be inducted alongside Bruce. What did that phone call mean to you, first of all, before we talk about sharing the eventual night with Bruce?
I started getting a few texts from old staff, and I thought, like, what? You know, like, what are they talking about? Like, they you know. And then I got the phone call. Yeah, it's just like, it was surreal. It's just I never thought I'd end up in the Golf Hall of Fame, and then to be in it with Bruce. I mean, that's pretty awesome, really. The guy who got you started.
Mm-hmm. Well, everyone talks about players, right? When you think of Hall of Fame, you think of players.
2 superintendents, I mean.
Yeah, builders are important.
Yeah.
You know, again, we don't get to celebrate this year because, you know, COVID continues on, but what's that night going to mean to you? And I'm sure you've talked to Bruce about it, and, you know, he had such great things to say about you when I sat down with him at his club in Regina. Yeah, we're good friends,
No, it's, you know, I'm trying not to get emotional here right now, so I'm really worried about that, but, because I'm an emotional guy, but I don't know, it's going to be something I'll cherish, for sure.
you're probably no stranger to pro events and guys coming to play your golf course. But you know, what about this week? I got you at a good time here. We could, you know, there's a lot of praise, and this place looks amazing.
Yeah, you know, Mother Nature really helped us this week. It was last week we had greens holding water and stuff. Greens which I've never seen hold water before because we were so wet, and I was just going, geez, it's going to be a lot of work. But we pulled it off. I'm really proud of the kids. We had 4 university kids who missed the first week of school to help us, and some retired guys who, you know, our whole crew was very new this year. There's just 4 of us who are veterans and the rest were all new, so I'm very proud of them, the job they did. Yes.
What was it like with the new ownership? We know Ryan around the golf industry as a former pro, and obviously he's, you know, this place is special to him as well. But, you know, the last year and then leading into kind of not knowing what's going to happen, you know, next thing you know, a PGA Mackenzie Tour is here. Like, what a turnaround.
Yeah, it's crazy, really. You know, like last year there was no one out here, and then this year we got everything happening. So it's nuts. What
do you want the legacy of Blaine Fagnou to be? Because it's when people come here after you retire, whenever that may be, you know, your name is going to be synonymous with this place, and that'll be around for a long, long time.
Geez, you know, I never really thought of that. I know. I hope they remember me here. Yeah. We worked hard, Arnie and I. A lot of work.
And a good team at home that helped you do this as well. And, you mentioned your wife earlier.
Yeah, my wife Janice. She, you know, when I first started here, we bought a cabin, and I guess it would have been '94 when I started. You know, no running water, 2 little kids. You know, so I don't know anyone who'd sit through, you know, who would go through that. You know, it was a lot of long hours, and the cabin was just 1 room. No bedroom, so there wasn't much sleep. And she has a business in Waskesiu, so it was long hours for her too. So, you know, without her support, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Is there anything else you just want to add?
No, just thank you to Gulf Saskatchewan for accepting me. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna hear more stories eventually when we can meet. But congratulations on being in the 2021 Sask Golf Hall of Fame. It's a nice ring.
Thank you. Yeah, it is. Thanks a lot.